this is gonna be awkward. And my cat says hi too. Start. Say hi, Tabby. He's bored with you guys already. Hey guys, welcome back to movie reviews. I am finally doing these again, so let us just jump right into it. The first one that I will be doing is Born to Be Wild, which just came out this year, and it's a documentary on elephants and orangutans. It shows you how these animals are being rescued and raised up to go back into their natural habitats by these women. These orangutans live in Borneo, and this woman decided to come and go to Borneo to study these animals, and her name is Beirut Gultikas. She wanted to study orangutans, and instead she found herself rescuing them from their habitats that have been destroyed and their mothers killed in the process. She raises them up, keeping them wild, and puts them back into their natural habitat when they come of age. She calls herself their surrogate mother because she tries to simulate how the mother would teach their children, and with each stage of their childhood until they're ready to be pretty much booted out of the nest. And in Kenya, the Elephant Authority, Daphne Sheldrick, chose to rescue orphaned baby elephants from after having seen their mothers being killed for their ivory. It's really a sad thing to see, and she rescues them and raises them up until they're old enough to go to their halfway home until they can go back to the natural habitat. And I really enjoyed watching this documentary because these two people, they have found ways to give these animals homes that are protected, and they will never have to worry about being poached again. And it's just wonderful to see these people with such big hearts helping these animals out in such a big way. And the filming was spectacular. I loved the color, how vivid it was, and how sharp the images were. I also especially loved just being able to see these animals through these filmmakers' point of view, and just watching these animals and with their wonderful and funny personalities was just amazing to see. What I did not like about this movie was that it was too short. It didn't go far enough into what these people are doing for these animals and just giving you a bigger picture of everything that they do. I just would have loved to have more. It was way too short. So I give this movie a rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I really recommend this movie. I think it's very important that people get to know why these animals are so important to save and keep from extinction. The next movie that I will be sharing with you is Gone, which came out just this year also, and it's about Jill, who comes home from work one day and she finds her sister missing. She decides that it has to be the same kidnapper that kidnapped her years ago that has come back and kidnapped her sister. She goes to the police with this information, and they do not believe her and pretty much call her crazy. So she decides that she's going to go find her sister on her own. The things that I liked about this movie was pretty much the filming and Amanda Seyfried. I really loved watching Amanda Seyfried in this movie. She's such a great actress, and she did very well in portraying this character, paranoia and eccentricity, and pretty much just her craziness, even if, you know, possibly she could have been right. I just really loved watching her act, and then the filming was amazing. They did really well in setting the mood with the coloring and the angles and just the music. It really did set you on edge from the very beginning. my issues were that it was very predictable. There was only one time where I was that I was confused, where I thought one thing was going to happen, but the other thing happened, and that was only one time. Otherwise, it was just one of those movies where you just find yourself going like, yeah, I figured that was going to happen, and you find yourself being really bored with this movie. It was not as exciting as I thought it was going to be, and I had wished it to be more mind-boggling, more getting you on the edge and making you having to really think. I didn't have to think as much in this movie, so it was just not that great. But if you want to watch a movie that has Amanda Seyfried in it, I would say go for it. My rating for this movie is 2. The third movie that I'll be sharing with you guys is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, and it's about a boy who has lost his father in the 9/11 incident. And a year later, he finds a key in his father's belongings, and he believes that his father has left a message for him. He decides to go on a journey to find the lock for this key and to get the message from his father. It was such a strange movie for me to watch because the boy, Oscar Schell, he's such a strange person. Like, I could not connect with him because of his personality and just the way that he is. I couldn't connect with that type of personality at all. But what I really loved about it was that he was able to touch so many people's lives, and that part, the side characters were my favorite part of this movie, just seeing how they were affected by him. Especially the renter who lived with his grandmother. I really loved watching the relationship between Oscar and the renter. It was just really nice to see the development there, and also just to see how Oscar dealt with losing his parent, his father. And it was very unique because you actually did get to see the boy's point of view instead of an adult's point of view. Seeing a child's point of view is very different because children see things in a very different way than we do. So it was just really nice to see that uniqueness. The film was good. It showed, it portrayed the characters and just setting the mood and everything like that was just really well done. It wasn't something that I could say was awesome, or like it was just one of those movies where it stood out. It was just well done. And I think this is a very strange movie, and why it's getting what I consider a low rating from me is just because I couldn't really connect with Oscar that well, and it was just a strange movie for me to watch, and I didn't really like that strangeness that came off of it, and how they presented it was very different, and it was very hard for me to get used to that, and so it took me like half the movie to get used to it, and I felt like that feeling of strangeness took away from the movie for me. So my rating is 3 out of 5 stars. The last movie that I'll be sharing with you guys is Underdog, and this one came out in 2007, so this is a pretty old movie. And Underdog is about a dog named Shoeshine who gets these superpowers accidentally by this guy named the Mad Scientist, and he decides to use it for good, and he takes on the pseudonym called Underdog. He finds himself in a situation where he has to save the city from the Mad Scientist. I like that it was very funny, entertaining. It's just a movie that you can watch when you have nothing else to watch. It's just a laid-back movie, pretty much. Nothing really to it. What I didn't like was that it wasn't, I don't know, it was left with holes, I feel like. I felt like the story between the father and the son was really patched together. They skipped over parts that I felt like was very important in their relationship that was really going to the dogs. And then suddenly they're back to being best friends or whatever, and it was really skipping around and patched together kind of thing, so I just didn't like that part of it. And it wasn't like this particularly filmed movie. It's just what you would normally expect from a movie from this era, so wasn't that great, but I just loved it for the funny and entertaining aspect of it. So I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars just for that. So that is it for me. If you've watched any of these movies, tell me what you thought of them below. And before I leave you, I wanted to talk about an idea that I've been thinking about. I kind of want you guys to get more involved in these things, and hopefully we can get into more of a discussion type thing with movies. So I thought that if you guys left ideas for me for movies to watch each month, that would be great. What I would do is whatever suggestions I get, I would put them in I would write them down, put them in a hat, and randomly draw one for each month. And whatever one I chose, that would be the movie that I would watch for that month, and I would call it the audience's movie choice. And yeah, I would review it. I'd watch it, review it, give you my thoughts, and we could actually have more of a discussion type thing going on. Yeah? If you like it, leave your suggestions below, and we can start it out for the month of July. And until next time, peace out.